Let's take a look at two different ways that we can install OpenSquiggly on Minikube. Minikube is a really great way to evaluate OpenSquiggly. You get, an isolated environment and something that's easy to get up and running than other cloud hosting environments. Okay, so I'm gonna go to my terminal. I already have Minikube installed. I can run Minikube status to see that. All right. Now, what we recommend is that you install the host path CSI driver with this command here. Now, I don't have the CSI driver installed yet. That means if I do kubectl get sc for storage class, notice that there's only one storage class named standard, and notice that it has the reclaim policy of delete. So that's going to become relevant here as we go through this. All right. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and enable the CSI driver, running this command. Okay. Okay, that looks like it worked. And so now if I do kubectl get sc again, we see that there's now this second provisioner or storage class that we have access to. And this is the default name, the default provisioner that the OpenSquiggly Helm chart uses for Minikube. And so that's why we recommend you install this. Now, if you don't like that, we've got a second way you can do it where you can override and set. We'll see that in a second. All right, so we're going to run the command we're going to run the Helm chart. So we're going to start off by doing Helm install. We're going to give our release a name. So I'll call it OpenSquiggly 1. And we're going to install that from the OpenSquiggly Helm chart repo that I've already added. And that's going to be the all-in-one chart that we're going to start. And I'm going to set some variables. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set cloud type equal to Minikube. And I'll set some disk size. This is in gigabytes. And so let's just say 30 gigabytes for fun. The default's 32 if you don't specify anything. Okay, and that's really all I need. And so if I go ahead and do this, see, it doesn't take very long. If I do kpods -- watch, all right, it's able to get that pod up and running pretty quickly within a few seconds. Okay, that looks good. And now watch what happens if, by the way, I have the letter K as an alias for kubectl, so if you see me typing that. All right, so now if I do kget storage class, notice that what the Helm chart has done is created a storage class. It's using that provisioner, but instead of accepting the default reclaim policy of delete, we create one that has a retain reclaim policy. And we do that on purpose because we don't want to accidentally delete your data, especially if you're evaluating. You might not fully understand what our Helm charts do, and you go to uninstall, and then all of a sudden your data is gone. And so we didn't want to do that. We wanted to retain your persistent volume. So let's see how that works out. So if I do kget pvc, notice that I've got a bound persistent volume claim, and if I do kget pv, all right, we see that I've got a persistent volume here. This was from a previous test. This one that's released is from a previous test because it didn't delete it. So I probably should have deleted it before I started this. Okay. And so now if we do kget service, that's going to notice that we do, because this is on Minikube running locally, we don't get an external IP address assigned to our provisioner. That means that we need to use the port number along with the IP address. So if we get the IP address of Minikube, so that's 192.168.49.2, open up a tab, 192.149.2, and I get the port number, which in this case is 3975. So you do :3975, and that should come up nice and quick, and you can now create accounts and all the normal stuff that you can do anywhere else. All right, so that looks good. Now we're going to do the second option where we don't use My dog is barking in the background. I don't know if you can hear that. Okay. Where we don't want to install for whatever reason, I don't know why you wouldn't want to, but if you didn't want to install the CSI driver, we can set our own storage class by using the use existing storage class equals standard. So let's do that a second time. We're going to do helm install OpenSquiggly 2, and we're going to use the OpenSquiggly chart again, and we're going to use the all-in-one chart. We're going to set cloud type equal Minikube, and we're going to do this size. I don't know, let's just make it different for fun, just so we can tell the difference between the two. So I'll do 40 gig this time, and now we're going to say use existing storage class is equal to standard. All right. And so now what's going to happen is that should once again get our pod up and running pretty quickly. Okay, there it's running. OpenSquiggly 2 is running fine. But now if I do k get storage class, notice that it did not create a second storage class for OpenSquiggly 2 because it's using standard. If I do k get pvc, notice that OpenSquiggly 2 is bound 40 gig. That's what we asked for. But now what happens if we do k get pv? Notice that we've got the 40 gig one, but it has a retain policy of delete. So that means if we uninstall this installation, that persistent volume is going to go away. We could go ahead and access this the same way. Notice I now have two of them running, two OpenSquigglies running on two different ports. All right, and I could do the same thing where I could hit this on a port, and these would be two separate instances. All right, but I just want to do the helm uninstall of OpenSquiggly 2 now to show that deletes it right away. And then if I do kget pv, the persistent volume is gone. See, because it had that reclaim policy set to delete, it's gone. And so all your data would be gone. Any pages you had put in, any internally authored pages that get stored in the database on the persistent volume would be gone. So you want to be careful about that. All right, but now suppose I do, let's say if I do helm list, we see I still got the first one that I installed. So now if I do helm uninstall OpenSquiggly 1, all right, that deletes it. But now if I do kget pv, notice that the persistent volume has not been deleted. It's been released, but it hasn't been deleted. And now if I wanted to get rid of that, I would have to do a kdelete. I could do kdelete. I have to do an explicit command to get rid of it. Kdelete pv and then put in the name from here. I won't do it, but you get the idea. So that is what we're covering here in these two different options. One is the first option is recommended for the extra safety that we just went through, but this standard storage class can also work. And then we cover how to navigate by using the IP address, the local IP address and the port address, or the port number. Thank you for watching.